flame, I'm a real man and killing. Are you feeling lyricism when I'm spilling it? I'm feeling myself. Yeah, baby, but he been feeling himself.
Logic returns with his 5th studio album, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Over the span of 16 tracks, Bobby name drops dozens of notable figures. He begins on the opening title track with a shout out to Coretta Scott King, wife of civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr.
I can't get no better, can't get no much better. I feel like the king and my queen is Coretta.
Later in Confessions, he mentions a feeling of being compared to Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and J. Cole, 3 rappers he looked up to but now considers his peers.
I ain't good enough, I should quit, I should kill myself. Cause you'll never be Kenny, you'll never be better than Drizzy and Cole.
Hopefully, if I ever, some shit happens with like a Drake or a Kendrick or this or, all these people I wanted to work with for a long time, it's like, I wouldn't overthink it like I would have before.
Speaking of Logic's idols, on the Eminem featured Homicide, he shouts out the Detroit MC by his infamous nickname.
I'm coming for your man and his lady, and even a baby. I'm feeling like I'm chicken, Slim Shady with rabies.
On the 3rd track, Wannabe, Kanye West and YG get their first of a few shoutouts on the project.
Why you think Kanye crazy? Why you think YG crazy like Subo?
On Clickbait, a cut about drug addiction, Logic talks about the late Lil Peep, who passed away due to overdose in November 2017.
Say I should empty the whole bottle in my mouth like Peep and overdose, immortalize myself. Why the media use my death monetize they wealth? R.I.P. Lil Peep, let that young man sleep.
He also calls out Power 105 Charlamagne Tha God.
I don't do the Breakfast Club cause Charlamagne is shameless. That's the only one I leave out when I run my bases.
While this may seem random, Logic's issues with Charlamagne may date back to the God's brash line of questioning during a 2014 interview with Bobby.
Who the hell raped your sisters?
Oh man, I don't want to get into that. It's a little too personal.
Charlamagne addressed Clickbait on The Breakfast Club.
Don't listen to his music. Don't find him appealing. In fact, I am so committed to not listening to Logic that he once put my favorite hip-hop group of all time, Wu-Tang Clan, on the record, and I did not listen.
The 5th track, Mama Show Love, includes another Drake and Kendrick Lamar shout-out, as well as a nod to Childish Gambino.
Shout out that boy Gambino. Shout out that boy K-Dot. Shout out that boy Young Drizzy. All y'all been doing a lot.
Philadelphia rap group The Roots and their frontman Black Thought get some love as well.
That shit right there in Black Thought. Now bring it back to the roots.
The track's final mentions go to YG, the late jazz singer Nat King Cole, and Jid.
Shout out that boy YG, Nat King Cole and J.I.D. Everybody know I be in the club VIP. It's like not me.
Part of My Ego's opening chorus references the late 80s rap group NWA.
It don't matter where we at, it's popping like a gun off. Bumpin' NWA on the 101 off.
He rounds out the cut invoking Kid See Ghost members Kid Cudi and Kanye West, drawing inspiration from the latter's lyric on 2016's The Life of Pablo's Feedback, and West's openness about being bipolar.
I'm feeling like Kid Cudi, a little crazy, but tell me what genius ain't a little nutty. I can't let these people play me. Name one genius that ain't crazy. I ain't bipolar, Kanye make me wish I was, cause that level of genius the meanest.
The g-eazy assisted cut Commando references the time a young Justin Bieber shut down a mall.
Bieber was set to sign autographs at 4 p.m. at the girls' clothing store Justice. The meet and greet had to be canceled, causing tears and anger.
I do it all, do what I want and I go where I want, but can't go to the mall. Cause if I did, they shut that bitch down. Like rap Justin Bieber, best believe when I'm around, they go crazy.
Later in his verse, Logic mentions Donald Glover again as a metaphor for Michael Jackson's infamous glove. He also includes Donald's role as Lando Calrissian in Solo, a Star Wars story.
PLP, but keep that in the glove, right? Michael Jackson on these hoes, you know I keep a glove. Boss up like Lando, like Donald Glove.
Breakout pop star Billie Eilish gets some love on Icy, as well as power couple Jay-Z and Beyonce.
I'm icy, I'm so cold, I'm chilly. You know I got the C-notes like I'm Eilish, I'm Billy. Like, hey, I'ma be here forever and a day. I'll be at the Grammy party with Jay and B.
Still Ballin' featuring Wiz Khalifa has the most name drops of the entire album, beginning with the nod to American actor and comedian Seth MacFarlane and his show, The Orville, as well as a series of unfortunate events author Lemony Snicket, pen name for writer Daniel Handler.
Cause that's Seth MacFarlane shit. Orville, we on that outer space.
I'm ready to kick it. Give me the sample, you know I'ma flip it. Writing this shit like I'm Lemony Snicket.
Still Ballin' also includes 2 Kanye West references. First, Nicki Minaj's standout verse on Monster off of West's 2010 By Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and a nod to his 2013 album, Yeezus.
I'm a monster like Nicki on Twisted. Don't look away, no, you don't wanna miss it. Killing these beats like Kanye do, like Yeezus. Believe it's my Jesus, I'm ballin'.
YBN Corday's 2018 track Kung Fu gets a shout out too.
Wait, let me reload the clip. I'm kicking this shit like Kung Fu, kicking this shit like Corday do.
Finally, he mentions 90s sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's Jeffrey Butler, played by Joseph Marcel, as well as the cutthroat nature of the NBA great Kobe Bryant.
Money like my last name, Banks, bitch you Jeffrey. Bitch you Jeffrey like shit. I'm ballin' like the Nuggets, they hatin', I'm like fuck it. Every shot I take, I make like Kobe, I'm like bucket.
On cocaine, Logic mentions Donald Glover again, this time with his Emmy Award-winning series, Atlanta.
Got the party jumping in Atlanta like I'm Freaknik. Got the party jumping in Atlanta like I'm Donald Glover.
On Limitless, Logic boasts of his potential and addresses haters. He again mentions North Carolina rapper and friend J. Cole, who he reached out to for advice on handling critics.
Called Jermaine for some advice, cause these people think I'm careless. He said, Bobby, on the real, man, fuck them all, you should care less.
Back on the track, he references J.J. Abrams, the filmmaker behind Logic's upcoming film, Everything Must Go.
I just texted J.J. Abrams on some $1 million shit. Yeah, my movie gon' be crazy, first I gotta polish it.
His track Keanu Reeves is a reference to the actor of the same name, most known for his character Neo in The Matrix.
I'm the one, bitch, I am the one, like Keanu Reeves, get it done, yeah, I get it done, no blood on the leaves.
Logic also shouts out his producer and frequent collaborator Six, as well as the former president of the United States, Barack Obama, who, like Logic, is also biracial.
Fuck Illuminati, that boy Six got my back. Six make this beat, Six bring the heat, you got on repeat. Red carpet in my own merch, like that shit is designer. Did you know I mix like Obama?
On Don't Be Afraid to Be Different, he mentions and interpolates hip-hop legend Rakim's 1987 track with Eric B, I Know You Got Soul, and name drops the character Sam I Am from the Dr. Seuss children's story, Green Eggs and Ham.
Pump up the jam, pump up the volume. I'm not Rakim, but I'm doper than pump up the heart rate and dance more. Pump up the motherfucking jam. Rhyming like Dr. Seuss, bitch, I'm Sam I Am.
On the last track of the album, Logic shouts out his crew Rat Pack, as well as Andre 3000 of Outkast and disgraced comedian Louis C.K.
I'm feeling like Andre pre-3K, cause all I got is Benjamins. Y'all know the regimen, R-A-T-T-P-A-C-K. I'm Louis, you more C.K. Was an outcast on the come up back in the day, and now I'm more Andre post 3K, like woo!
He also name drops CeeLo Green's 2010 song Fuck You, along with director Quentin Tarantino.
Hey yo, fuck you like CeeLo, bucking and I reload, sipping Pellegrino, shooting shit like Tarantino.
Finally, he winds down with some other mentions, like Spike Spiegel from the anime Cowboy Bebop, stunt driver Evel Knievel, and Hannibal Lecter, the fictional serial killer from Silence of the Lambs.
Far from evil, I'm kinda like Spike Spiegel, a cowboy paper retrieval. Bitches jumping to conclusions like Evel Knievel. My God, with a fucking animal, sicker than giving brain to Hannibal Lecter.
What did we miss? Let us know in the comments. I'm Jacques Morel with Genius News, bringing you the meaning and the knowledge behind the music. Peace.